In 6.3, we learned some basic concepts of inequalities. We learned 4 different types of the inequalities. We have A is larger than B, A is larger than or equal to B, A is smaller than B, A is smaller than or equal to B. We know this inequality sign looks like the alligator mouth. The alligator mouth always opens towards the larger side. We also learned how to graph an inequality on the number line in 6.3. Today, we will look at 6.4, solving linear inequalities by using addition and subtraction. If we want to know how to solve a linear inequality, I think we need to learn this very important property first. This is the first property of inequalities. When the same number is added to or subtracted from each side of an inequality, the resulting inequality is still true. So this one means if I have an inequality, for example, A is larger than B, if I add the same number to both sides, this inequality sign will keep the same. This one is the same as subtracting the same number from both of the sides. If I have A is larger than B, if I subtract 2 from both sides, for example, this inequality will still be true. So to solve an inequality, we use the same strategy as for solving an equation. Isolate the variable by adding or subtracting from each side of the inequality. Let's compare an equation with an inequality. Let's compare the following solutions of an equation and relate the inequality here. This is an equation, h plus 3 equals 5. Most of you guys know how to solve this equation already. We subtract 3 from both sides. Positive 3, negative 3, they got cancelled out. I will have h equals 2. And we will find that there is only one solution for the equation. Let's look at the inequality. We will use the property we just introduced to solve this inequality. We want to cancel this positive 3 from h term side. We subtract 3 from both sides. Positive 3, negative 3 got cancelled out. Because I subtract 3 from both sides, this inequality sign will keep the same direction. So we will still have h is less than 2. We know how to graph an inequality on the number line already. H is less than 2. On a number line, let's say this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. H is less than 2. I use an open dot to show 2 is not included. And all the h values are less than 2. I highlight all the values less than 2. So you can highlight the number line to the far left. And we will find that there are many solutions for this inequality. Let's use this property to solve inequalities. Let's look at the first example. 6.2 is less than or equal to x minus 4.5. We find that we need to cancel negative 4.5 from the x term side. If we want to cancel this negative 4.5, we need to add 4.5 to both sides. Negative 4.5, positive 4.5, you can cancel them out. On the right side, I only have x left. On the left side, 6.2 plus 4.5. This one add up to 10.7. Based on this property of the inequality we just introduced, we only add 4.5 to both sides. We need to keep the direction of this inequality sign. So we will get 10.7 is less than or equal to x. X is a larger side. Even if you don't like this way, if you want to swap both of the sides, we will change this above inequality to x is larger than or equal to 10.7. Remember, the alligator mouth always opens towards x in this question. So let's graph the solution on the number line. So I will label 9 here, 10 here, 11 here, 12 here. 10.7 is between 10 and 11, but a little bit closer to 11. Since there's an equal sign here, so I will use the closed dot to show 10.7 is included in the inequality solution. X is larger than, so the rest of the number should be larger than. So I will highlight the right side of 10.7 all the way to the far right. So this part should be the graphic solution for the inequality. Let's look at the second one. 3x smaller than 2x minus 11. In this case, I have variable on both sides. I want to cancel 2x on the right side. So I need to subtract 2x from both sides. On the left side, it's 3x minus 2x. We have x left. On the right side, positive 2x, negative 2x, they got cancelled out. I only have negative 11 left. Since I add negative 2x to both sides, I can keep this inequality sign with the same direction. So I will get the solution for this inequality. It's x is less than negative 11. Let's graph this solution on the number line. On the number line, I will label here negative 12, negative 11, negative 10, negative 9. I think we have enough numbers, and you know. So the numbers on this side will be getting larger. On this side will be getting smaller than negative 12. So right now, it's negative 11. Negative 11 has no equal sign, so we use an open dot on negative 11. Less than negative 11, that means I need to highlight the left side of negative 11 on the number line. So this time, let's look at C. It's 2a minus 5 is larger than or equal to 2 plus 3a. I still have the variable a on both sides. And this time, I find 2a on the left side, 3a on the right side. I want to cancel 2a on the left side. It's because I don't want to get to the negative coefficient for a. In equality, if you have the negative coefficient for a variable, this is a very challenging one. So I subtract 2a from both sides instead of subtracting 3a from both sides. I cancel these two 2a's. Then I have negative 5 on the left side. It's larger than or equal to 2 plus a. I want to isolate 2 from positive a. I subtract 2 from both sides. Then I will have negative 7 is larger than or equal to a. And if I want to swap both of the sides, this one is the same as a is less than or equal to negative 7, because the alligator mouth opens towards negative 7. Let's graph the solution on the number line. So this one is negative 8. Let's say this one is negative 7. Then this is negative 6. This is negative 5. I think we have enough numbers on the number line to show the solution. A is less than negative 7 or equal to negative 7. So we should use the closed dot on negative 7. Less than, so I need to highlight the left side of negative 7 on the number line. Okay, right now let's apply the inequality to a real-life problem. So we need to use an inequality to model and solve a problem. Let's look at this example. Kevin plans to board his dog while he is away on a vacation. For how many days must Kevin board his dog in house A to be less expensive than house B? So we wanted the cost in house A. Less expensive than, that means it's less than the cost in house B. So right now, let's look at how they charge the expense for the dog in both of these two houses. If the dog will be boarding in house A, they charge $90 plus $5 per day. We learned this one in equation solving already. This $90 is called the fixed cost. This one means this cost is not changing no matter how many days they want to board the dog in this house. $5 per day. So this one is called a variable cost. This cost is varying depending on how many days you want to board the dog in this house. So we will let the number of days be X. So the cost in house A will be 90 plus 5X. And the cost in house B, they charge $100, which is the fixed cost, plus $4 per day. This one is the variable cost, depending on how many days you want to board your dog in. So the cost, or we can see the total cost, boarding in house B will be 100 plus 4X. Write an inequality to represent this situation. The cost boarding in house A is less than the cost boarding in house B. So we will have 90 plus 5X less than 100 plus 4X. So right now, we want to use the property of inequalities to solve this inequality. We still have the variable x on both sides. I want to cancel the variable with a smaller coefficient. I subtract 4x from both sides. Then I will have 90 plus x is less than 100. Then I want to isolate 90 from x. I need to subtract 90 from both sides. Cancel out these two. I will get x is less than 10. So if I want to graph this solution on the number line, I will do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think we should have enough to show the solution x is less than 10. Since there's no equal sign on 10, so we will use an open dot to show 10 is not included in the solution. X is less than this number, so we need to highlight the left side of number 10 on the number line.